Operation Four Town Shakedown is about to commence.
Love it or hate it, this year's controversial Pixar movie Turning Red hits as hard as puberty, its main plot device, and has come to change it all. But beyond what anyone may think about the movie, and since the general audience was instantly divided by the themes addressed in the film, we can all agree in one element that not only drives the plot forward, but also works as an audience unifier. And the reason is simple, everybody loved it. And no, we're not talking about the fantastic fur of Mei's version as a giant red panda. Yeah, we all like the panda. Mei liked the panda, her friends loved the red panda, strangers in the school bathroom loved the red panda, and even Mei's bully loved the red panda. But here is something else that everybody loved about the red panda.
Can garbage do this? Or this? Stir the porridge.
Turning Red's music is heavily inspired by two musical timelines that coverage in the pop music band that is Four Town. In the first place, it takes almost all of its aesthetics from what is now known as the golden age of bubblegum pop, a very specific brand in pop music of the late 90s and early 2000s that took the world by storm. Seriously, you cannot imagine how big this was. We guess you're familiar with the current K-pop phenomenon and the Korean, Japanese idols, right? Well, try to imagine that madness and frenziness generated by, let's say, BTS, but with a worldwide reach. Every music channel, every radio station of any genre in any country, every teenager in the world, all invaded by the gods and goddesses of bubblegum pop. The Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Five, Westlife, 98 Degrees. We keep naming clone after clone that replicated the enormous success of the Backstreet Boys, the #1 band and without a doubt the base to the imagining Four Town's visuals and sounds. Of course, there are big female names at the top too, such as Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, or Jessica Simpson, but we're focusing on the boy bands here.
Where the skies are blue, see you once again.
We can't help but make this question to ourselves. If you heard the names we dropped before you realize that the boy band names have never been something super serious or logical. Instead, the record labels who create and produce the bands give them weird, funny names that are catchy and attractive to larger audiences. I mean, what the hell is NSYNC? Of course, after someone comes and explains to you something about being in synchrony, you finally get it, as it was always obvious. But reality is simple. It sounds good, it's catchy, and it stays. And don't even get us started on the very obvious Five or the completely nonsensical 98 Degrees. Four Town simply follows all of these rules and it works. But still, exactly, why not Five Town then? Well, following our previous explanation, it can be as simply as mashing and copying other boy band names. And as a Chinese-Canadian writer and the director clarified in an interview for Thrillist, we're not far from the truth. She explained, "I think the name Four Town was probably a combination of a band called O-Town, and then I didn't even know if most people know that there was this Toronto boy band called Before Four. I think only Toronto tweens knew about it. I think it's like O-Town and Before Four merged together with NSYNC to create Four Town."
Oh my gosh, who are these hip-hoppers? And why are they called Four Town if there are 5 of them?
I don't know.
Everyone wants to know if the band is real. Well, yes and no. Jesse, Tay, Robert, Aaron T, and Aaron Z are not real people, but they are voiced by real people. So getting to know the actual singers behind the animated band is just like getting to know the band, right? Well, maybe it's the next best thing, we get it. But that's what we can do in real life, so let's see what we know about the real people behind the animated studs. Jordan Fisher voices Robert, Josh Levi sings as Aaron Z, Topher No is the voice of Aaron T, Jesse's voice is provided by none other than Finneas O'Connell, and finally Grayson Villanuovo as Tae Young. But let's take a deeper a look at these artists and their real careers as flesh and blood people. Jordan Fisher is a rising star who has already worked with Disney, Netflix's To All the Boys 2, and Broadway plays such as Hamilton and Dear Evan Hannister. So singing in a boy band wasn't a big deal for him. He even had some previous experience around animated movies since he worked in the Moana soundtrack. Josh Levi is a singer from the 2013 season of The X Factor who had never lent his voice to an animated character before, but has sung in shows like The Royal Crush and Friday Night Lights in the role of Darius. Topher Ngo is a Vietnamese-American bass vocalist who had never worked in a Hollywood production, but was super happy to be a part of Four Town because he had always dreamed about being in a boy band. Grayson Villeneuve is the guy who can not only sing but also beatbox in the purest Justin Timberlake NSYNC phase, is a professional vocal arranger and musical producer. And the most known member of Four Town is the heavyweight of the music industry. If you happen to know who the pop sensation Billie Eilish is, maybe you would know Finneas O'Connell, because he's her brother. The talented musician has worked writing songs for several other artists, including his sister. But this man is really a multi-talented artist who has dabbled into music by himself as a solo artist and even as an actor. O'Connell's stage name is only Finneas, and he has released several solo singles and an EP called Blood Harmony in 2019. He has worked as a movie actor in both the independent 2013 film Inside Out and in the 2011 movie The Bad Teacher. O'Connell's also interpreted minor roles in TV such as Alistair in Fox's hit TV series Glee, and a couple of episodes in ABC's Modern Family. From all of the guys who are part of the Four Town in real life, Finneas is maybe the most talented one. Beyond his personal work as a singer, actor, and performer, he has been praised by his work as a co-writer and producer of Billie Eilish's debut EP, Don't Smile at Me. And after reaching high ranks in the Billboard 200 with his work, he also served as a producer, composer, and co-writer of Billie's debut album, When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?, which reached #1 on all popularity lists in the United States and in the United Kingdom.
What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me?
If someone knows something about music in Four Town, it's this guy. He and Billie wrote together the hit songs for Four Town, including the super catchy Nobody Like You. Yeah, the one you can't stop singing after the movie finishes. Isn't it amazing? What do you guys think of Four Town? Did you enjoy their songs as much as we did? Are you going to be listening to their songs now that you've watched Turning Red? Or maybe you're going to start your own research of all of the pop bands that inspired their existence. Let's go watch Turning Red again and decide together. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on and share this content with your friends.
May I remind you what real men look like?
Four Town.
Yes! Four Town!